共产党。
Once again, the Dalai Lama decided to return to Lhasa. However, he was hesitant and took a long time to journey from India to Lhasa. The Chinese People's Central Government was very cautious about the reform of the Tibetan social system. However, the Tibetan people in other Chinese provinces demanded immediate reform of the old political system. Together, they denounced the oppression and pain the old system had inflicted. They were jubilant in burning the old files in which their deaths were recorded. The shocked masters went together to Lhasa for the Dalai Lama's protection and support. Some of them stayed to plot an armed rebellion.
那么这个时候呢，就从这个时候就思想就有点变化了，我就说他这个人呢就有变化了。那么这个时候那些分离主义分子啊，些个闹独立的一些人就有对他加紧包围，加紧什么东西啊？所以这个时候的话呢，就出了叛乱。
The United States started dipping their hands directly into Tibetan affairs. In 1954, the American Central Intelligence Agency started recruiting Secret Service agents from among disaffected Tibetans. They were trained in Taiwan and sent back to Tibet to create terror and stir up trouble. The organizers for these special agents were the Dalai Lama's brothers Jigme Thupten Norbu and Jalo Dundab. Jigme Thupten Norbu himself received such training. Later, the United States trained 170 Kamba guerrillas in Colorado. The Americans smuggled weapons through the borders and also airdropped some to these special agents who returned to Tibet and ordered them to take action immediately. Soon, these people started serving their functions in Tibet. Not only did they assault the offices and armies sent to Tibet by the central government, they also established rebel organization Sishui Liu Gang and rebel army Religion Guarding Army. They also persuaded people to join them.
57年呢，就发生的地区的叛乱，西康有些个叛乱分子喽，啊，给这个西藏的这些个的一些叛乱分子，那么募捐呢，献了金宝座。实际上的话呢，这也是一个叛乱信号。
It was this political and military organization called Sishui Liu Gang, or Four Rivers and Six Hills, that collected donations for the Gold Throne. It was mainly formed by rebels who fled Tibetan Sichuan. They openly collected donations in the streets to enlarge their influence, and the extra money for the Gold Throne went into rebellion coffers.
他们当时要搞的集体组织力量、叛乱的一种象征。那不是这时候呢，大家还都接受了吗？实际上，他这个思想呢，已经受了这种反动这个势力和这个西藏独立的这种在他脑子里已经起了不小的作用。 但是呢，从表面上来说，他还是拥护统一的、爱国的，所以一直到了1959年正式叛乱了。这叛乱呢，这是当时达赖是个什么态度啊？
The rebels openly started inciting the people with Dalai's tacit consent. An organization which called itself the People's Congress even posted notices in Lhasa. Many Tibetan upper and middle-class liberals avoided organizations controlled by the PLA. Most Lhasa residents shut their doors to avoid danger. Lhasa seemed deserted. The fuse for the actual rebellion was the Dalai Lama's request to see a musical performance. In February 1959, Dalai Lama asked to go to the Tibetan Military Club to watch a new program of the military art performance troupe. The military leaders welcomed him and asked him to confirm the performance time and location. On March 8th, the Dalai Lama confirmed that he would go on March 10th. But on the evening of March 9th, the Lhasa mayor told the citizens that the Han Chinese were preparing to kidnap the Dalai Lama as he watched the performance and take him to Beijing. He asked that every household send a person to Nobolinka, where Dalai Lama was staying, to protect him and prevent him from going to the performance. In the morning of March 10th, several thousand armed rebels surrounded Lhasa and injured or killed some Tibetan liberals. The rebel had openly announced Tibetan independence and started an armed rebellion. On March 10th, 1959, the situation was tense. From March 10th to 16th, 1959, the Dalai Lama wrote 3 letters to the leaders of the Tibet Working Committee and Tibetan Military Region. He said he was surrounded by the rebels and couldn't act on his own. However, on March 16th, he looked for divine intervention on whether to escape. God reportedly said to him, "Leave immediately tonight." So at midnight, March 17th, disguised as an armed rebel, along with some other rebel leaders, the Dalai Lama escaped Lhasa through this gate, from this ferry called Nama Hill, for the armed rebels' base camp, the Loka region. After the Dalai Lama escaped, the rebels summoned about 7,000 people and started overall attacks on the party, government, and military organizations in Lhasa at dawn on March 20th. The PLA counterattacked. With the support of patriotic Tibetan monks and believers, they put down the rebellion in Lhasa in 2 days. The Dalai Lama and his followers escaped to India. In September 1951, Ambassador Henderson wrote the only signed letter. Mr. Henderson's wishes were realized. After the 1959 rebellion was put down, millions of serfs and slaves were no longer personal property of the feudal masters headed by Dalai. They were no longer forced to work. From then on, they gained their personal freedom. It is the Tibetan New Year in Jiayu town in Lunsa County, which once stood the ranch of the Dalai Lama's clan. The former serfs and their descendants wish each other happiness, with shamar and wine, symbolizing a good harvest. The Dalai Lama and his clan, whom they once worshipped, gave them only endless suffering. The people's government has led them to democracy, freedom, and happiness.